Okay, so in this part, I'm going to show you a quick way of putting together a chord progression in the playlist, and then we're going to arrange our track, and then I'm going to show you a few more things along the way, like adding some variation in the piano roll, and also I'm going to show you how to create different arrangements. So let's get started with putting together our chord progression. So here I already have a piano loaded, and so I'm just going to start adding these chords to our patterns. So let's open our MIDI pack here, and then I have these chords all numbered from 1 to 7. So in the scale of C minor, there's 7 keys, and on each of the keys you can create a chord. So I created a bundle of these from 1 to 7, and I gave you 2 choices for each degree of the scale. You can choose C minor or C minor 7, and that would still be the first degree of the scale, and then the next degree would be D diminished or D minor 7 flat 5. Don't worry too much about the names of these. All you have to worry about is these numbers 1 to 7, and we want to choose one of each of these numbers to have all of the choices for our chords in the scale. So I'm going to start adding these to our patterns, and I'm going to start with the C minor chord. I'm just going to middle click on it and send it to our first pattern. And then I'm going to click Ctrl F4 to open a new pattern. I'll send the second chord, Ctrl F4, send the third, 4, 4, and 7. So I just chose the simple ones. You can choose the 7th chords if you'd like. And from here, we have all of them now here laid out in our pattern selector in the playlist. And you can easily preview them by holding Alt and then right-clicking on the pattern. And from there, we can start arranging our chord progression. So you can experiment and see what sounds good. Yeah, I like that, so I'm just going to go 1, 3, and then 5, 6. Click on the first one, hold Shift, click on the last one. I'm going to drag all of these patterns out into our playlist. And from there, so we said 1, 3. And then we're going to go 5, 6, 5, and 6. And then for the last one, 5, 7. And then, by the way, you can easily transpose these to any other key. It doesn't have to be C minor. So if we're in C minor now, we can transpose all of these to a different key, let's say D minor, by simply going up. From C to D, it's exactly 2 semitones. We're going to be in this key of D minor now. I'm going to stay in the key of C minor, but just know that you can easily transpose this to any key you'd like. And once we have our chord progression put together and you're happy with it, right-click on the track and then go Merge Pattern Clips. And now we merge these pattern clips. See, I placed it on pattern 2. I'm just going to move this down, and I hold Shift and scroll down with my mouse wheel to move this down. And we can even get rid of all of these chords because we don't need them here anymore. So there's our chord progression. And you might know this already that generally chord progressions sound nicer when the keys are played a little bit closer together. So we're going to invert these top notes here. And the easy way to do this is just to select these top notes, hold Control, and hit the down arrow on your keyboard. And now we've moved these down an octave, and they're just much closer to our initial chords. And from there, let's say I want to create another copy of this, and I want to create an arpeggiated version of this pattern. Since I'm on pattern 1, I have this piano roll open already. I'm just gonna hold Control and Shift and hit C. And you see it created another pattern, pattern 2. We already selected in it. And so what we can do from here is we can simply create an arpeggiated version of it. Why don't we listen to this together with our initial chord progression?